Hi, my name is Jeffrey Wong, and I want to personally welcome you to World Financial Group, and you're part of the Soaring Eagles team. I'm one of the senior brokers here, and I want to share with you an instructional video of what to do next now that you're part of this team. I want to make sure that when you're licensed, you get licensed fast and be quick to make your first $1,000. It's very important to make money here, so that way you can show other people that it is possible. So before I begin with this week by week program, I want to put you in the right mind frame and make sure that we are all in the same wavelength, the same frequency, because this is a business and this is your business, not ours. So if you can't change your circumstances, change your perspective. Most people have a 9 to 5 job, working 40, 50 hours a week. And what do they do when they come home? They just sit down, relax, and do nothing. Next week comes along, they do the same thing over and over and over. So this is one form of an addiction, as I would like to call it. And there's other types of addiction where people come home and they really work on their dreams. They focus hard and better themselves because they know that whatever they're at now, it's just temporary. So read this with me. Some people are addicted to junk food, Netflix, procrastination, sleeping, social media, and their habits in general, which give them temporary pleasure but never fulfillment. While others are addicted to learning, exercise, pushing themselves, creating, planning, and the high they get from the achievement and productivity, which lead to fulfillment. So be aware of where you are and put yourself in a position where you really want to be the better version of you. Now, if you want to win, especially in this business or any areas in your life, you need to give up all of these things because they can destroy you without even knowing. And the good news, though, is that a lot of this is self-control. It's internal more than external. So be aware of self-doubt. That's the first one. Believe that you can win, because when you don't, you walk differently, you talk differently, and people can smell that. Okay, so here's an opportunity where you can really make very good money, financial freedom, but you have to believe you deserve it. Fear of failure. Did you know fear of failing destroys more dreams than failing ever does? So that means most people quit before they even try because they don't believe they can do it. So put yourself in that position now that yes, you can do it. And today could be the beginning of the best days of your life. Toxic people. How many people that you hang around with that only look towards the weekend? They complain about their jobs all the time or their circumstance, but they do nothing about it. Guess what? They're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. So 4 of them are very negative and want to do nothing about their lives, and you hang around them long enough, you're going to be the 5th. The opposite is also true. If you hang around with 4 successful people who have ambition and want to go some places and want to make something big out of their lives, you're going to be the 5th. So hang around with the right people. Negative thoughts. We all, from time to time, get into this zone where you are very negative towards yourself. Stop blaming yourself. You can always change. You can always get better, right? And negative thoughts can really slow you down. It's just a matter of how fast you can snap out of it and keep the ball moving, right? Everybody has negative thoughts. We can't avoid that. It's how fast you snap out of it that matters. Making excuses. So you can either make a lot of excuses or you can make a lot of money, but you can never have both. So be aware of the things that come out of your mouth. For example, I can't do this because I have other obligations. I have to go to a party. I have to go to barbecue. And weekend after weekend, there's always something to do. So there has to be a point where you have to put your foot down and take control of your life. Otherwise, you'll be swayed left and right to other people's intentions. People pleasing. This is another one where you find it very hard to say no to people. And it's okay to say no if you have goals and dreams that you need to pursue. So if someone's inviting you for a party and you have to do work at home to prepare yourself to be better, then put that as your priority. Don't use your family ever as an excuse to lose. Use them as your reasons to win. So if you have an opportunity like this, and temporarily you may not be able to spend that much time with them as usual, then use that as your burning fuel to keep your drive alive so you can get to the financial freedom you deserve And then you can enjoy life and be with them and do all the things you want to do. Now, it's important, again, to be aware. There are 3 types of people out there. The first one on the left, as you can see, has very little time, little bit of money, and little bit of time to travel, okay, or leisure. We call these people the employees. Okay, so again, perspective, being aware. If you're happy where you're at, great, stay there. If not, then it's time to move on. Move on to the next stage of these types of people. And that's where people may have still have a little bit of time, but potentially a lot of money, but very little time to travel as well. We call them the self-employed. So these are the people that are your dentists, your doctors, your lawyers. They can make potentially good money, business owners, but they're locked, they're tied in, they're committed. They cannot go on a 3-4 month vacation because by the time they get back, their business will crumble. And then we have a third group called the entrepreneurs. These people are the rock stars in the business world. They're the athletes. These people have all the time, all the money, and travel time, enjoying life. And that is where you want to be eventually. Hopefully, that's where you want to be eventually. But let's move on to the first stage, that is how to go from employee to self-employed. So this is the 4-week program now. First week, if you're listening to this video, this is your first week, okay? So very simple. Enroll to the licensing course. We are a financial industry, highly regulated. You got to have a license, okay? And you don't want to study forever, so you want to get your license as fast as possible. So in the next 7 days, trainers, pre-book in advance, mark it on your calendar. In the next 7 days, attempt your first certification. Hopefully you can pass it. Why? So then you can move on. It shouldn't take you 2, 3, 4 weeks to study your first cert, because that means you'll have to remember all of the things you studied in the weeks prior. And most people can't remember that far back, which means what? You're just repeating your study mode over and over again. And then you'll never get there. You're going to get discouraged. So mark it on your calendar, first 7 days, study hard, complete your first cert. Now, there are mock exams and then there are reading materials. So what I advise is focus on the mock exam, focus on the practice quizzes, and reverse engineer that. Reverse study. Learn from that. Don't read page to page to page. You don't have the time or the patience. This is a brand new industry to most of us, so you may not be able to understand it entirely. So just focus straight into the mock. Make sure you get 75% and higher before you attempt your first cert. The second part here is commit. Commit to our weekly business trainings, development classes, also known as the BPM, and the occasional big events. It's important to immerse yourself to other like-minded people and learn from their successes and learn from their failures. It's an environment. You got to be able to be in the right environment to grow. And if you are at the employee stage, focus on building your skills, and this is where to do it. You want to trade less time for money and start trading skills for money. Okay, so what good is a license if you don't know how to use it? That's why you got to commit to our weekly training classes. The third one is begin. Begin your own financial needs analysis. We call this the FNA. This is your own financial report that the trainer will conduct with you. And we're going to look at these 6 areas: cash flow, debt management, emergency fund, proper protection, building wealth, preserving wealth. These are the areas that we're going to look at. Make sure that we can fix it, because it's hard for you to tell people how great it is to save money and to protect themselves if you're not on your path to do so yourself, right? So make sure that you get it done with your trainer on the first week. Second week, very simple, continue studying. By now, you should be on your way to complete your second certification. So again, mark 7 days ahead, complete that. Continue our weekly BPM and important events, because that's where you learn the skills to apply, and finalize your own financial needs analysis. Ask yourself, will you sell shoes barefoot? Again, it's very important to have some kind of plan, financial plan set up already, so you can now have the confidence to share with people that it works. And it all begins with you. So that's the second week. Third week, study. Very simple. Complete your third certification. By now, you should be 75% done. And continue again to work on your skills through the BPM and important events. Now, this part is a little bit different. Marketing plan. Your trainer will develop your top 25, top 100 prospect list with you. And this is the part where we will brand you, we'll rebrand you so that your friends and family know that you are on your way to become a financial professional. What good is a license if nobody knows what you're doing, right? Don't be a secret agent. So this part, the trainer is going to help you develop the plan, and hopefully this will become your center of influences and source of referrals. The best form of marketing, word of mouth. So that's what we're going to work on the third week. Fourth week, study, complete the fourth cert. That should be your last one. And once you're done, you schedule your provincial exams. That's your final exams. Continue building your skills through the BPM important events. And here is where you're going to get your feet wet. We're going to roll up our sleeves and go on a field training scheduled to see 10 presentations in the next 14 days. This is where you're going to take notes. You're going to learn from the trainers how they present, how they handle objections, how they gather information, how they deliver a message, and all of those things that you need when you're licensed, you're finally ready to go. And I challenge you, qualify. We have a reimbursement program. Why not get some of your money back from all the money you put in towards your licensing? So qualify for that and you'll be on the right track. So what happens after the 4 weeks? Well, after the 4 weeks, you should be passing your final exams. Once you're done that, register your license through the provincial department. And then you wait, it's just a waiting. Now, the second part is clients and or partners. Do you remember the previous slide, the 10 field training appointments, the 10 presentations? Guess why those are important? Because now those are people whom your trainer had presented to are in line for your service and or business partnership. So those are the people that we had talked to already, and they know that you're going to be licensed. And if they are interested in learning about the business or about the services, you are now in line to help them out. But you cannot help them without a license. So get your license fast. If you can help them independently, great. You will earn all of it, 100% of the pie. If you need your trainer's help, 50-50 partnership split. Okay. In my opinion, I'd rather earn 50% of something than 100% of nothing, especially when I'm brand new. I don't want to potentially lose out on a big account. So I'd rather have a more experienced person handle it, and I just sit back, take notes, and earn 50%. So it's up to you either way. But these are people in waiting for you. So now's the part where you got to accelerate your studies and get it done out of the way. Money. That is why you're here all this time, right? You got to make money. You need to show you that it works, and you need to show your family that it works as well. So become a net license recruit by making your first 1,000. Why is this so important? It's because statistics show that in this business, you have an 80% chance and above to stay in the business if you're licensed making over $1,000. So it's important for you, important for the company that you make your first 1,000. You are less likely to quit because when people tell you that it doesn't work, this business sucks, you're no good, you have no chance, it's a scam, whatever it is, you're more likely to brush that off because you've tasted the money, right? So make your money first, and you'll have more confidence to then be more independent and share this with other people. Remember one thing, be successful to recruit, not recruit to be successful. So that is why you want to get licensed fast and make money. So when you share the opportunity, people can tell that you are telling the truth, okay? It is totally different if you haven't made anything yet and you're telling people how great it is, but they're going to smell it and they're going to ask you to, have you made money? And guess what you're going to say? You're going to say you haven't. So that is where it's important. Again, get your license fast, go on the field, and get your first $1,000 paycheck. Here is the advancement guidelines that I want to share with you. It's important to know the rules so you can win. Get to your first promotion. How do you do that? You have two choices. The first one is called 3-3-30, and the second one is called 4-6-30. So what does that mean? 3-3-30. That's the lingo we use. So when you hear people say, I've just hit my 3-3-30, now you know what they're talking about. So the first 3 represents new business partners. You want to build your agency, right? The second 3 is 3 sales, any permanent insurance plan. Okay, so 3 new business partners, 3 sales, And then the 30 represents a rolling 30-day period. Your trainer will track this for you, and we're going to get you to your first promotion. I'll tell you the benefits of that in the next slide. Or you can choose this path, whichever is easier to you, 4, 6, 30. So what does that mean? Minimum 4 sales plans of any type, totaling 6,000 points within a rolling 30-day period. Okay, so if you have 4 people who are looking to need financial help, minimum 4, and their total combined points is at least 6,000, then that's great. You get your promotion that way. So what does points mean? Because I want to put some perspective into it so you know how many families you got to go see. So here at the bottom says the benchmark, 2,500 points per household. That's the average. So if you need 6,000 points, then that's about 2-3 families in a 30-day period. So that's not a lot. So work now with your trainer, right? Get the ball rolling so that way you can do that, finish it off, and we will hold those points for you because by the time you're licensed, we'll promote you right away. Okay, so that's the 4, 6, 30, whichever comes first, whichever is easy for you. Now, I did mention about why it's important to get promoted, because once you're licensed, you earn a bigger slice. For every $1,000 of gross sales, it is technically 40% more money. What do I mean? Is that if you're on the left side as a trainee who haven't got promoted yet, when you help out a family and it generates $1,000 of gross sales, your contract is at 26%. That's $260 of commissions. If you do your 3D30 or 4-6-30, you become automatically an agent with a higher contract at 36%. And that's $360 doing the same thing. So this difference of $100 is almost a 40% increase. Try asking a 40% increase at your job and see what the boss will tell you, right? So if you can work smarter, not harder, that's the way to go. And that is next slide, work smarter, not harder. Focus now on automating your business. For myself, I don't expect to work forever, but who says you cannot get paid forever? And you can do that in the financial industry. Focus on getting a higher contract. As a marketing director, MD, you're at 51%. That means out of $1,000 of gross sales, that's $510. At an SMD contract, 66%, that's $660, right? Per 1,000 of gross sales. So how do you now go from self-employed to an entrepreneur, automating income, right? Build distributions, focus on building distributions that do the work for you. That means developing more licensed agents to work with you. So this is a checklist. This is the minimum requirement checklist guideline as an MD, as an SMD. So as you can see from the checklist, it's all about developing more licensed agents, producing certain amount of points as a team within a calendar of 3 months. Okay, again, the benchmark is 2,500. So just divide it and you realize it's not a lot, especially now that everybody has input and everybody's helping you become promoted. As a senior marketing director, same thing. Okay, more licensed people, more production, 3 calendar months, and cash flow. They want to make sure that before they give you the final title of the prestige, they want to make sure you're also profitable. So make sure that you track your business and you're earning money as well. Lastly, just want to end this off because you may ask, why do I need to build and all of those things? What's the important? Well, read this quote for me. I would rather earn 1% off 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. So that means you want to work smarter, not harder. Who's working smarter today? Your boss. If you ever work at a corporate job or any job, your boss is the one that's making all the money. And they have a lot of employees such as yourself who are doing all the work and they keep the difference. If I work at a job, I know for a fact my effort is paying for the owner to send their children to private school. My 40, 50 hours a week at a job is paying for their fancy homes, fancy dinners, fancy vacations. So if I'm going to put this kind of effort in helping a family I don't care too much about, why not I put in the same effort to help my own instead? And the best way to do it is to become an entrepreneur. So hopefully from this instructional video, you got to learn more about what we need to do next. And with your trainer's help, I have full confidence that this year will be the best year of your life. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next time.